Danny, got the job done on the last day of the season. I expect it's been a busy week for you so far since then, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Obviously enjoyed getting over the line on Saturday. I think actually it was a good performance from us, but probably a performance that maybe epitomised our season. Played against Crewe Alexandra, who finished 5th in the division, and we controlled the game, dominated the game, and still found a way not to win the game, which I think was really frustrating. But obviously we were pleased to achieve our objective of staying in the division. We knew how important it was for everybody associated with the club. So it's allowed us this week then to sit down with the players and with the staff. Obviously it's always a difficult week. Some difficult conversations, probably some necessary conversations, but it's always for us to sit down with the players, to over-communicate, to kind of reflect on what has happened, to try to take the learnings from what has happened, both collectively and for the players individually, and then to look to the future. And of course we have some players that are out of contract, we have some players that are in contract, but for us to always speak honestly and openly with them as to what we see the future holds and what we see their future holding. So we can then make some, off the back of those conversations, start to make some intelligent actions moving forward.
Yeah, and a couple of weeks ago at the Fans Forum you mentioned that the recruitment team and yourself were probably a couple of weeks into the process of starting things off for the summer. Now there's clarity about what league we're in. Does that make it a little bit more straightforward?
I think so, yeah, definitely the clarity in terms of the division. We are totally clear on the way that we want to play. We have complete understanding of the attributes of the players that we need to sign to be able to play the way that we like to. And we're also clear on the type of person that we want to bring to the football club. We want to try to bring energy and enthusiasm. We want to bring players that love the game and have real passion for the game. And we want to bring players that have a winning mentality. For us, it's a second relegation battle that I've inherited. I haven't enjoyed either of them, and I don't anticipate doing one anytime in the near future. So for us, yeah, we need to work really hard in the recruitment area. We also need to have a really clear understanding of the provisions that support the first team and how we can improve them, because of course recruitment is important and we're going to be really aggressive in that area, but as important is the provisions that support the first team, so that we can actually maximise the attributes of the players that we sign.
Yeah, and you mentioned there about Saturday's game against a team in 5th, and we've seen against Wrexham and Stockport, and early in the season when we beat Notts County. It's a very tight league. Does that make those little defeats more frustrating, or give you the knowledge that actually we don't have to change loads to get much higher up the table than we finished this year?
Well, I think for us, we have had the opportunity to be able to reflect, kind of the emotion settles and then it becomes much clearer. So we've been able to learn the reasons and the whys that the team has finished 22nd. And I think we have clarity over what those reasons are. I think we can take really good learning. I think some of our young players have actually really benefited from this season because it's been really tough. But I think they would have built a huge amount of resilience and grit, which are really important qualities when you're a professional footballer. So I think those players would have grown, which is really exciting. I think we need to try to find the right balance in the group. Probably one of the learnings from last year was that we have our own young players and we're so super excited about them. We've got so many exciting players, so much athleticism in the squad. You look at Jaden Fevriers, you look at Sampsons, you look at Brad, you look at Jay Mingy, just to name a few, Noah. So we have some brilliant young players ourselves. Probably the learning was that the loan players that we brought in were a lot were first-time loans, and I know that probably suited the previous manager. But probably ultimately, I think when you looked at the dynamic of the squad, there was too many young ones, too many that hadn't lived professional football and League Two football before, and as a consequence, gave too much responsibility to the senior players in the squad. So I think we can equal that balance out. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have some young players, because we absolutely are. Because I think for us, it's what makes this club this club. And I look at Colchester United, and you know, you looked at our gates at the end of the season. It was brilliant, the supporters, by the way. The amount of people that come out to support us, the Wrexham game, the Crew game, when we really needed them, tells me that we have a lot of people that this club holds a special place in their hearts, which is so inspiring moving forward. But also those crowds were made up of scouts. You know, if you looked at how many scouts we had in the last 10 home games, incredible amount. And the reason that they come is because they know that we have a conveyor belt of young talent. You go and you look at Sammy Smodix, top scorer in the Championship, come through our academy. You look at Kwame Poku playing at Peterborough at the moment and ripping League One up. You look at Junior, selling him to Stoke and him going in and having a real impact at Championship level in a massive club in Stoke City. And yeah, we've got our own young players, boys like Noah Chilvers that have come all the way through from 9 years old onwards. And then we've also got boys like Jade and Fevrier and Jay Mingy who we've been able to sign slightly later in their development, but still as young players, and now they've become real assets to us as well. So I see this as being so exciting. I know why there's so many eyes on us, and I think for us as a football club, and what I love about Robbie is he's so for the academy, he's so ready to invest in the academy, but he then actually wants to enjoy the players, he wants to enjoy them in the first team. And just imagine if we can have a successful team, you know, how much that will increase the assets. So yeah, for us to keep developing young players, to enjoy them in the first team, then to maybe sell them on to clubs higher up the pyramid, then to reinvest the money and to build again. And if we can go through this cycle and continue to go through this cycle, we're going to get bigger and better and stronger and stronger. And this will allow us to create something that's really, really sustainable, both financially but also in terms of results. And yeah, for me, it's such an exciting time for Colchester United.
Yeah, and for you personally, how have the last 4 or 5 months gone here at Colchester United, as you expected, or have there been things that surprise you?
I've had easier gigs, definitely. It's been as I would have anticipated, if I'm honest. I knew when I came in, the team had been on a really difficult run, had lost a lot of games. We knew we were losing the top scorer in Joe Taylor. We also knew that we had Samson Tavidi, who's such an important player, out for such a significant amount of time. So we knew it was going to be tough. I suppose torture is one way to describe it. These relegation battles are not easy, and particularly when you're in a relegation battle with your EFL status on the line, because you just know how catastrophic it could be for this football club. And for the people that love the club, whether it be inside the building and the staff or our brilliant supporters. So you carry that responsibility, of course, but we always had confidence in ourselves that we could get it done and we could help the group. And I have to say the group have been brilliant in the way that they come together and the inner strength that they found. And yeah, we were, I think just relieved when we got it done, but actually really excited for waking up on Sunday morning and for what the future brings to this brilliant football club.
Brilliant, thanks Danny.